Hi, this is Jen Mitchell Love from Solace Divorce Mediation. This video is all about the energy when you share about your divorce, the energy that you are sharing with others, with the world, and with your family, with your relationship with your partner who, if you have children, you're shifting from married to co-parents and you're always going to be in a relationship with one another. I think the programs when it comes to divorce, and when I refer to the programs, I mean kind of the way the human consciousness, the social consciousness responds and reacts to divorce and the different thoughts and emotions and feelings that are automatically assigned to divorce. But I think what I have found, when people share about divorce, it's usually like the energy is pretty low, we're getting a divorce, or angry, we're getting a divorce, and instantly what I have found is, people, it's almost like they're trained. They like tilt their head and they frown a little bit. Their eyes look sad and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What happened? You know? And now with that question, what happened? Well, this all happened, all of this is what he did or said, or she did or said, or they did. It's like, it's so charged, and it very much is focused on the external, external. It's focused on the external from the person sharing it, but the person who's receiving, who asked what happened, they are also focused on the external. The bigger picture in truth, when you're sharing about your divorce to others, the bigger picture in truth is that it's no one's business. It's no one's business what is going on in your life, unless you want to share it with them. Then, of course, it's their business. But I think there needs to be some mindfulness when we share, and an understanding and an acknowledgement, and really stepping in the space of being an authority, of saying, recognizing, okay, this is my relationship with this person who has been my spouse and who I've learned a ton from and grown from. And, if you have children, it's like, this is someone who I had children with. We share children. We are a family. It's having that mindfulness and being in that space of being the authority, in recognizing, I am in control of what I am sharing. I am in control of the narrative, but more importantly, I am in control of the energy that I am sharing. Because let's focus on the divorces when there are children involved. The two of you are always going to be in a relationship. You're always part of a family. And we don't want outside people that really have no business talking about it anyway, because it has nothing to do with them and their life experience, nothing to do. But we don't need outside people saying things or doing things, or labeling or judging or putting someone in a box of saying, that was right, wrong, good or bad, or whatever it might be. We don't need that in our family. We don't need that in our relationship. And those are kind of like seeds. Those are like little toxic seeds of doubt or frustration or anger. And I feel like that kind of is the go-to when it comes to divorce. People want to shit talk their spouse. They want to talk badly about everything. And it's almost like they want that out, the exterior validation of like, yes, you're right, like, I can't believe that happened, oh my gosh, you deserve so much better. It's like external, 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 when the external doesn't matter at all. And really, maybe that's going to make you feel good temporarily, that someone is saying, oh my gosh, that was so awful. But the bigger picture is, you are the only person who is in a forever relationship with your co-parent. You are the only person who is one of two parents of your children, and you are in this family. All of those other people are not. And so a way that I like to coach my solace clients of how we can share about divorce is recognizing it's all energy. You can share from a really low space. We're getting a divorce, and I'm not minimizing. I know how hard divorce is. I went through my own divorce. I've guided over 500 couples through divorce. and I'm an energy worker. So I know I'm not minimizing. I am not minimizing what you are going through. What I'm trying to share with you is you are in control with how you wish to share about what is happening in your life. And you could share from a space of saying, yeah, my spouse and I were getting a divorce, and we both agreed this is really the best thing for us to do individually and for our family. And then shift to a space of gratitude, which is one of the highest energy vibrations. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful for the time that we had together, because we created these amazing children. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about the world, and I'm so deeply grateful for that relationship and marriage. And then finishing with, and we're committed to being the absolute best co-parents we can be for our kids. And you can take it as far as you want. You can say, like, we're going to be the model co-parenting family and relationship for all co-parents everywhere. You can do whatever you want to do, and when we're sharing about our divorce, when I'm sharing these 3 points that you can share, of course, this is reserved for those, I call them fluffy people. The people in your life who, they're not your rocks. You know your rocks right now. You have friends, you have family, you have people in your life that are your rocks, and they are meant to be here for you to help you get through this. And you're going to share everything with them. But this narrative is more for the fluffy people. This is more for the people who, aren't your closest. Maybe these are neighbors, maybe these are coworkers, maybe these are, you know, your kids' parents, someone that knows both of you, but not a strong rock for you. That's what we're going to share with the fluffy, is this higher vibration of sharing. And I encourage you, to be very mindful and aware, if people want to start gossiping or want to start bad mouthing your spouse, that's bringing those energies into your relationship, into your family. And again, it's really none of their business. And it is human nature, unfortunately. Anytime you're checking out of a store, you see all the Star magazine, I don't even know what they're all called, but you see all of those magazines. And of course, anytime a celebrity couple is getting a divorce, they're always on the front page. And my heart always goes out to those people, those celebrities, because, like, okay, yeah, they're a celebrity, but they're going through a divorce, which is one of the hardest emotional experiences you're going to go through in your lifetime. And I think that when we can go through that mindfully, and I think when outside people can recognize that it has nothing to do with you, and anytime we're judging or labeling something outside of us, it's really easy to do that. It's a lot harder to shift inward and really deal with our own things, that are going on in our own life. So I encourage you to share about your divorce from a high vibrational space. And I also encourage you to start being a little more mindful of where your energy is getting caught up in. Are you finding yourself judging other relationships, kind of gossiping, stepping outside of yourself, external, external, external? And if so, I encourage you, to always try to shift within. Nature is a great place that you can do this. It's just a natural alchemist that will calm all the noise. But I do encourage you to navigate this space with mindfulness and intentionality, and really, with so much love towards this changing relationship that you have with your spouse and with your family. Focus on your family and spread love, spread joy, spread inspiration. Be the version of yourself that you desire to be, and share your beautiful light with this world. Sending you much love.